Laughter feels like it is in short supply these days, but that is never the case when our next guest sits behind his desk on late night. Seth Meyers has navigated hosting late night talk shows during this pandemic more brilliantly than most. For 6 months, he did the show from an attic. Now he's back in the studio, although there's no live audience. While Seth Meyers aims to provide his viewers with a laugh at the end of the day, he also breaks down the big political moments, speaks to his viewers earnestly and honestly and directly about all the tough stuff taking place in our country and in our politics. Joining our conversation is Seth Meyers. He, of course, the host of Late Night with Seth Meyers on NBC. This week, he will be hosting a primetime special, Closer Look Thursday. The half-hour special will air this Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Thank you for spending some time with us.
Thank you for making it clear I don't have a studio audience after showing a couple jokes. I thought that's very important for people to know. They didn't bomb that badly.
Well, you know, in the baseball games, they had this, like, clapping track, and I wonder, like, is it weird to not have anyone in there?
Yeah, we gave a laugh track to a crew member, but he only presses it when he thinks it's funny, and he hasn't used it yet.
That's a power play.
Yeah.
You know, you've never, though, like hewed to the soft side of any of these stories. Not a single Trump story has sort of escaped your razor sharp scrutiny of it. What do you make of this week, where the president, after ignoring every guideline, is himself infected with COVID?
I mean, it's just one of those classic awful roller coasters that somehow only go down and never go up again, but keep picking up speed. Especially that you spend an entire weekend trying to navigate through your own emotions as a human, especially one that tries to be capable of empathy. And you just realize that empathy is in no way contagious, in that it wasn't as though the president was going to walk out the doors of Walter Reed having a better sense of the human beings who've gone through this and maybe not had the access to the medical care he's had, or all the people in this country who've lost loved ones. So it's a real reminder as we sort of deal with the sense of what we want to be as people and how we want to be the best versions of ourselves, that is not something that exists in the White House.
And I mean, these are such tough and painful times. And how do you seem to every night, find that right balance? You yourself take us down on that roller coaster because that's what we're living in, but then bring us back up. How do you figure that out every day?
I mean, obviously we're blessed to have an incredible writing staff. And for us, it's cathartic to go through the news by writing jokes about it. And hopefully for our audience, it's serving the same purpose. When I was at SNL, the hiatus weeks were really nice. They were regenerative, and you felt a lot better after a week off. But now I feel as though the hiatus weeks are more stressful for us, because then we don't have, an audience, an at-home audience to tell jokes to work through it. And basically we just mutter to ourselves. So we're very lucky to have a show, and we're very lucky to have a few people who, want to hear about all this stuff again at 12:35 at night.
No, I mean, I have told you, and you were one of the last humans that I saw pre-pandemic. I was lucky to be there that last week that everything in the building where we work was still fully staffed and fully operational. Those were the days when people brushed my hair and put eyeshadow on my eyelids. I miss them so much.
I know.
What has this been like for your family and this new normal?
It's been, on the upside and the silver lining is I spent, more time with my kids because I was doing the show in the same house that they lived. On the downside, they definitely think I could do the show in an attic all the time. They're not that impressed with the fact that I have a TV show. It's definitely strange to tell your kids to be quiet because you're about to go do a television show upstairs. Even at 2 and 4, they're like, "Are you?" So, it's been a balancing act, but certainly a more manageable one than a lot of people are going through right now. So, we were constantly counting our blessings throughout it.
I know I'm really only in demand when my 8-year-old wants my code to buy a new game on the iPad. I want to ask you about what you're doing this week, what we can expect, and if it's going to become a regular thing, because I think everyone could use a regular thing.
Yeah, we're doing one right now. We'll see what happens, but we're doing a live closer look at 8:30 on Thursday. And before you ask what it's going to be about, we should note that if you'd asked me yesterday what tonight's closer look would be about, I would have been wrong. So that is one of the...
Well, it would change, right?
It would change. I mean, we're basically writing an improv show. in that we get a suggestion at around 10 a.m. every morning and have to do our best to pull it together. So, the nice part about that is you don't stress now. There's no reason to stress about what we're going to do on Thursday. You guess that it'll have something to do with the vice presidential debate, but of course, there's a chance that something happens in the vice presidential debate that's so interesting that the president feels the need to wrest that attention away from, Pence and Harris. I wouldn't put that past him.
Well, and just as last week passed this prologue, I mean, we thought we'd be talking about the dramatic performance that Donald Trump turned in Tuesday. He was a COVID patient hospitalized by Friday, so the news is on this accelerated pace. I wonder if you could just sort of put this moment in the history of comedy for us. I mean, I was happy to see SNL back. I turn to you every night. I've flipped through. I've been quoting people on interviews. I mean, there is sort of a flattening. Newsmakers are telling their stories in many, many places because they can do it from Zooms in their living room. Is that, to me, that feels like another upside. People seem more comfortable talking to all of us. I
mean, the only thing I'll say about comedy these days, and obviously what you're saying is it sounds like it's true for you as well. I mean, I think that people at home have a sense for authenticity. And so you're allowed to tell people how you feel about things. Obviously it helps to back it up with why you feel that way. So that's been a nice moment in comedy, but it's very hard. I think that in order to do comedy, you have to be living in the present. And when I think back to even 2008, when I was working on SNL, and we all thought the Sarah Palin sketches were as crazy as it would ever get. And then you realize that now seems quaint. So it's very hard to guess, where it's all going. I think we're better when we're talking about where it is now. Certainly that's how we found we are on this show.
I know. I think for all of us, and I feel the same way, we make a plan in the morning, and sometimes it changes by 4 o'clock when we come on the air, and then it changes again sometimes by the time we're sitting down watching you.
You are a little lucky, though.
Seth Meyers.
Not to interrupt. Why? You're a little lucky. At least you're live. Like, sometimes we'll do our show, and then before people see it, a lot happens. So I tip my cap to you.
Live is lucky. Live is lucky. And you're always welcome.
Thank you.
We will be watching. I'm so excited for this. Thank you for spending some time with us to talk about it. Everyone will be watching your special Closer Look Thursday this Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern and 8:30 p.m. Pacific on NBC. When we come back with just about 4 weeks.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.